Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a special occasion for me to be here today to share with you about the topic Day of the Dead. Q&A. Okay, so now let's start.
I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Did I arrive in Guatemala? Yes,
Yes, I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
arrived in Guatemala. Where did I arrive?
Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
Guatemala, right? I arrived in Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Who arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead? Well, me, AJ, right? I
arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Did I arrive in Guatemala on November 3rd?
No, I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
No, I didn't arrive in Guatemala on November 3rd. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. What day did I arrive in Guatemala?
November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. Where did I arrive on November 1st?
Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
Well, Guatemala, right? I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. I was curious about this holiday, so I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Was I angry about this holiday?
No, I was curious about this holiday, so I go to the cemetery to see what's happening.
No, I wasn't angry about this holiday. Was I sad about this holiday? No, I wasn't sad about this holiday. I was curious about this holiday. Who was curious about this holiday?
I was curious about this holiday.
Well, I was, AJ. I was curious about this holiday. What was I curious about?
Holiday. I curious about this holiday.
The holiday, right? I was curious about the holiday. Which holiday was I curious about?
The day of the dead. I was curious about the day of the dead.
Which holiday was I curious about? The Day of the Dead. I was curious about the Day of the Dead. Was I curious about the Day of the Dead? Or was I curious about Christmas? No.
That's all about my story. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.